Hey you guys, I just want to come over here and talk about my first month and a half kind of as a CNA. So the process for me, I had to go through orientation my first week, so that was about 3 days. So I went on a Monday. We had to go to an auditorium and we learned about the chain of a command in the hospital, benefits, the history, the values. Everything I learned on the first day was a lie. It was basically an 8-hour shift because I believe I went in there by 7:45 and I got out by like 4-ish, and I think we had one break and it was like 30 minutes. So it was a lot to learn on the first day of orientation. It was really cold. It was a lot of sitting. It was a lot of people. It was just a big auditorium full of people from like different places. You had administration, you had RNs, you had other CNAs, you had transporters, you had the cleaning crew, you had the sitters, just everyone you could think of in one room, just learning all about the same things. It was a lot of information on the first day, but it was nice. And this particular orientation was really different for me. 1, it was long. 2, the different kinds of people. 3, the looks. So on the orientation, we had to wear a badge. It was a must since you're required to wear it throughout your shift. Anytime you're on site at the hospital, you have to wear a badge. So there was this icebreaker where we had to go around, meet different people, and we had to list things. And if you find a particular person that matched the thing on that list, then you get them to sign for it. So I'm naturally a shy person. I hate icebreakers. I do not like to go around and talk to people. So it was kind of uncomfortable for me, but I knew I had to do it. So I went around and I introduced myself. And so these group of ladies, they were administration. I went up to them. I was like, "Hi, my name is Mia. I was wondering if you had this on your list." I read it out to her, and she's looking at me like, "No, I don't have nothing on that list." And I was just like, okay. And I was like thinking to myself, like, because she read my badge, so I'm thinking to myself, like, if it's gonna be like that now, imagine how it's gonna be in the hospital. All the time I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna go through with this job, but I was like, I know I need this. And they were like basically the only hospital that really is giving me a chance to prove myself and allow me to gain the experience that I need. I brushed it off to the side. The second day we had computer work with other CNAs, so I got to meet other CNAs that were in different departments. So we just did a lot of computer work. We learned how to do Accu checks, which are using the glucose machines, how to correctly use the glucose machines, and to also the process of getting someone's glucose. I learned how to do vital signs. I learned how to use the manual blood pressure cuff. I learned the different signs of like when the IV machine goes off, and also on the EKG machines. It was just a lot of stuff on like the computer, a lot of virtual training. We also use walkie-talkies, kind of like walkie-talkies, but they're kind of like walkie-talkies, but they're kind of like phones. So we learned how to use those. My third day, we did more computer work. We finished the training that we didn't get to do on the second day. And that was it, because the last day wasn't as long as like the first 2 days. Also got my schedule for the rest of the month. My first shift was in the morning. I applied to be a night shift CNA, but they had this thing where you train in the morning first for a couple weeks, and then you go to your regular shift. So I trained in the morning for about 4 weeks. It was supposed to be 2, but she was so adamant on me getting those extra 2 weeks since I was a new CNA. My first shift was in the mornings. It was 7 to 7 p.m. 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. It was the busiest. It was the busiest shift. Like, it was a lot of things thrown in my face. Each CNA is assigned to 10 patients, and it was a lot. You have to be like very quick on your feet. You have to learn how to time manage, and it was something that it was just something I was learning on the go. Throughout my shift, I am checking vitals 3 times a shift. The lady I was training with, she was doing her heart rate and respirations all at the same time. I was just like, whoa, how did you do that all at once at the same time? And then she showed me how, like, you can do respirations, I think, for like 15 minutes, and then times that, not 15 minutes, 15 seconds, and then multiply that by 4, and then you'll get, it's way quicker than doing the full minute. If the patients need their glucose check, it is 3 times during the shift. We're constantly cleaning patients. Majority of the patients that I do get, they can clean themselves. So out of like my 10 patients, I usually have like 3 or 4 maybe that can't like clean themselves. Sometimes less. We're checking to see if they're eating. If it's in the morning, we're checking to see morning shift. So we're checking to see if they're eating. We do check meals 3 times a day. We walk patients. If they needed to be walked, we walk them 6 times a day. I met like a lot of different people. Like, every time I was going into one room, it was a different kind of lady, different personality. It was just like, whoa. And I was just meeting these ladies, and it was just so different for me. It's a nice experience. It was a nice experience. I did like it, but my first day, it was kind of like overwhelming because 1, I didn't have the experience, and 2, it was really busy. And since it was a weekdays, a majority of these women were post-surgery. So some of the ladies needed to get up and walk. Yeah, we had to get up and bathe people, or we had to get the patients up to bathe them. Some of the ladies were going to the bathroom more frequently than others. Some couldn't like get up and move on their own. So it was a lot of work. And then, like, on top of that, it was 2 of us. So it was kind of moving pretty fast, but imagine doing all of that by yourself. That's a lot of work, and it's a lot of straining on your back. And then, like, when I was in training, the lady told me that, like, if the patients are 25 pounds and over, then you need to get somebody else to help you because you're going to strain your back. But when this lady was doing it, she was doing everything on her own, and I was just like, I don't know how y'all could do this all by yourself, because this is a lot of work, and for one person. And then you have to move so fast that you can't really give these patients the care that they need in a short amount of time. And it's a lot of work, and you do have to have a lot of patience, and you do have to do this job with good intentions, because with good intentions, like, the attitudes weren't all the way there, especially with the RNs. Like, you can just tell with the RNs, like, they're just basically over it. They don't want to be here. Like, they acted like the patients were such a bother, and that's for, the CNAs too. Like, the CNAs act like these patients were bothering them, but at the same time, like, you guys picked this job for a reason. In my opinion, you never know what's gonna happen to yourself. And when I do my job, I think of, like, myself. Like, would I want someone doing this to me when I get so ill like this? No. So I care for my patients like I want to be cared for. Like, the saying, treat people the way you want to be treated. So I treat these patients the way I want to be treated. Regardless of how they treat me, I treat them the way I want to be treated when I'm sick. So and I also believe in karma 1000%. So what goes around comes around. I do enjoy the job. It is a nice experience. On my second day, I witnessed someone with MRSA. She had MRSA down here in her chin. I witnessed the doctor open her chin up and like drain it. It was pretty cool. I do see a lot of different things, different people, in which I do enjoy because it makes the job enjoyable. The only thing like I am still trying to tolerate is cleaning up poop. Like, you smell different kinds of poop. Some are stronger than others, and I'm just trying to figure out a way on like how to, you know, get used to that. I had this one lady, she was able to walk, but she couldn't, like, I don't know what was wrong with her, but like, she couldn't hold her bowels. So like, as she was going to the bathroom, like, she made it to the toilet, but she was just 1 inch from the toilet, and she ended up pooping on the ground. So I had to clean that up. It was really strong, but like, I made like a toothpaste mask, but I'm still trying to, you know, like, get used to that. But other than that, I do enjoy the job. Like, it's not too bad. There are some days where I'm just like, ugh, I am over it. That's really much all I wanted to come on here and tell you guys. Like, my first month as a CNA in the hospital is not too bad. It's really not like too draining on your back. I've heard like nursing homes are way worse. So like, the hospital is so much easier. So I never worked in a nursing home, so I think being in a hospital is a good experience. You get to meet different kinds of people, doctors. So I'm just kind of climbing up to network and getting more experience to go on to PA school. So that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to come on here and tell you guys. So if you guys made it this far into my video, thank you so much. Comment, like, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bye.